What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Right Man in the Wrong Place. My name is Luke Tatum. I react to music, and I'm very glad that you are here choosing to spend a little bit of your time with me checking out awesome music. We're doing another video game song. This is not a donation request. This is a request from me, and I'm actually shocked that I haven't already done this. I played Cyberpunk 2077, Phantom Liberty, the DLC that's kind of a James Bond inspired in a way, like spy thriller kind of a thing. And I played that several months ago now. Wonderful, wonderful experience. I'm a big fan of the original Cyberpunk 2077, and the DLC was better than I expected it to be. It was really, really, really nice. Well, the music was just the best, the absolute best cherry on top I could have asked for. And we're going to listen to that. It's been a few months since I have listened to this, at least 5 or 6 or 7 weeks or so since I have listened to this. We're going to watch the song as it appears in the credits of the game. So I know there's an official music video version that's slightly different. I wouldn't consider this to necessarily be spoilers, but if you're concerned, if you haven't played it yet, don't watch this video. Do not. Spoiler alert. Turn it off. Don't do it. Stop. Okay, with that out of the way, let's check this out. This video is much longer because it's the complete credits. We're just going to be listening to the first song, which is, I think, 5.5 minutes. So the song is called Phantom Liberty from Cyberpunk 2077, Phantom Liberty, which came out last year, 2023. The artists, I'm going to butcher their names. I think they're both Polish. Dawid Podsiadło and P.T. Adamczyk. At one point, P.T. Adamczyk, I was like one of the top 3% listeners on Spotify because he worked on like the Witcher 3 soundtrack and stuff, and I love that soundtrack. So, that's a little nugget. But yeah, let's get this done. I am so excited. So excited because I love this. All right, let's go.
Found out treasures are always lost.
This vocalist actually does a lot of music in Polish, and he's a very good singer.
I'm watching you. Be careful with your moves tonight. I think the time is right.
So, first thing I have to point out, percussion nerd time. I hope you're ready. When you play the drums, there are drumsticks. There are mallets. You'll see people occasionally use mallets on a drum set. And so when I say mallets, I don't mean like a giant rubber mallet. I mean the type of instrument you would use, or the type of implement you would use to strike a xylophone or a marimba or a vibraphone, some kind of pitched percussion instrument. In other words, it's arranged like a keyboard, got white keys and black keys, and you strike the bars and get a resonant sound from that striking. If you want to be really technical, like a guitar is a percussion instrument, a piano is a percussion instrument. It's a little mallet that strikes a string inside the piano. That's what it is. And so it's the same kind of action. A vibraphone has big tubes underneath that allow the sound to sustain for a very, very long time. They'll have a thing that rotates on the inside that you can turn on, and that'll make the sound sustain for longer. A marimba is like that too, but it just has the tubes. It doesn't have the sustaining or the foot pedal. There's all that kind of stuff. I don't know why I'm doing a whole lesson on this, but okay. So why am I bringing all this up? in addition to mallets, in addition to drumsticks, there are other things that you will sometimes see. In the jazz world, you'll occasionally run into brushes. So imagine a steel brush. I used to have some that you pushed up on. And so it'd be this little plastic tube, and you would push up on it, had a little metal rod that's shoved into it. And then when you pushed into it, it would fan out all these little fine metal wires. And so you would have this array, like a little stick with this whole array of metal at the top. I'm doing really a lot of talking with my hands today. And you hit the drum with that. And so you think of a drumstick, get a pin, think of a drumstick, it makes a sound. It's a sharp attack, right? A brush does not sound that way. It's like hitting, it's a wider impact point. All the impacts themselves are softer. It kind of has this rattling sound to it. It's a much more textured approach to playing the drum. And this is used sometimes in jazz. The other cool thing about brushes is that you can rub them around on the drum head and kind of create this like kind of rasping sound. And so why do I bring all this up? That's what's happening. That's what's happening in the song. I'm going to back it up. Whenever we have something other than vocals here and vocals and piano at the very beginning, and the more traditional percussion sound comes in, you have this brush rasping on a snare head, and it's just this very gentle kind of texture. So check it out.
With your moves tonight.
And it's such a contrast because you have that soft textured sound, and then you also have this very like electronica drum and bass, like thumping bass pick. It's a total dichotomy between those. I love the vocal from this video. It's amazing.
Wires and chains starting to fade.
This duality of the vocals. I can't pause it. Okay, before we get into the next section, that more traditional kind of Bond-esque, James Bond-esque kind of, overarching vocals is like off to one side in the stereo field. And so you kind of have this, it's wonderful singing, it's excellent vocal quality. And it's kind of, you've got a more traditional line happening with the vocals. And then you have this, where it breathes in and breathes out. It fades in and fades out. It's kind of, again, the whole video is, it's a heartbeat, and it has that visual at the very beginning, and we'll see that throughout. It's a line. I can't think of the name of the machine right now, but what tracks your heartbeat if you're in a medical facility. And so what goes with heart rate monitoring? Well, oxygen intake monitoring, right? Breathing. It fades in, fades out. And it's really, really well done. I really like it. So why not catch that again? This chorus is just spectacularly good. Okay. Here we go. I swear we're going to make progress on this song and not just listen to the same part.
Starting to fade. It feels like a game. You have to play.
The drumsticks are awesome because you have the brushes first. It's a really powerful entrance for the drum set.
Look into your eyes, your twisted mind. It's dark, so dark. We ended now.
Very, very James Bond here with the strings.
Ends right here, right now. Please tell me you brought the end. Slide up the sky and fade into the night.
Before we get into this part, so this is it's so cliche, right? To think of, oh, we're just pieces on a chessboard being moved by powers greater than us or larger than us, more powerful than us, right? Like that's, oh, okay, cool. There's a greater mastermind manipulating people, right? But in the game, you feel the weight of what those kind of machinations from the politically connected, let's say, have on real people, what the human cost of treating people like that is. And that's a focal point of this game. And so again, I'm not spoiling the plot, right, any more than the video itself might spoil what's going on. But I think even that's fairly vague. If you don't know the characters, you don't really know what's going on. And so, but that idea of chess pieces being moved around, right? How do we anchor that back to the human factor? Well, a heartbeat, the oxygen kind of breathing effect. You got this minor key. You've got, I think it's minor anyway. You've got these lyrics about being forced to play a game, right? You don't, I don't have the lyrics pulled up actually, but that's what the song is about, right? It's about not having control, not knowing what's coming next, not knowing what's around the next corner, and whose interest you're serving, right? Like if you're actually doing what you think you're doing. I might be reading a little bit much into it, but let's just go back a little bit and kind of catch this because it's so good. It's so good.
Please tell me you brought the end. Slide up the sky and fade into the night. Wires and chains starting to fade. It feels like a game you have to play. The days where it was good are gone.
I have chills right now. It's so good.
I'm trying to see what it was for, but I'll never know. And though it's dead, I hear that cry. Wires and chains.
And here we have our protagonist not sure who to trust. It's a very
Feels like
intense and bewildering experience.
you can't escape. Wires and found out treasures are always lost. Pleasures are long forgotten. Who are you now?
All right, that's the song. So there's, several more minutes on this video. The other music is wonderful. I mean, the soundtrack to the original game is wonderful, but that will do it. That will do it for now. So another nice little touch, if you watch that a couple of times, I picked this information up in the comments on one of the uploads of these credits scenes. So this is not my original idea, but so smart, so powerful, so artistic. That final flatline heart rate monitor has the very last thing that it shows is the in loving memory of, right? But how much more powerful is that? Yes, it's always at the end, in loving memory of whoever, passed away that are family members of the production team. But to have that right after that heart rate monitor, that final heartbeat, I mean, that's some crazy powerful stuff, right? I cannot get enough of that song. Now that I've heard it again, I'm probably going to listen to it about 30 more times as I'm doing other things. It's, full dynamic range. It's every bit as powerful, as incredible as a, full budget James Bond film would be. Like the newer, Daniel Craig James Bond films, those had some really wonderful intros. I think this might be better than them. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's really, really good. It's up there with Goldfinger and some of these classics. So I am blown away, and I wanted to do a reaction to that, even though I've heard it. I wanted to do a reaction to that with y'all, just to share that with you. And I think that'll do it. So if you want to support the channel, if you want to check out more things, you do have some power to influence what I react to next. I can always ignore it and just go off the rails like I did today. But hey, most of the stuff I do on here is a donation request. And there are two ways to support the channel here. We've got Buy Me a Coffee. We've got Paragraph. I can't point worth anything. We've got those. They work differently, two different platforms. Paragraph's my blog. Check them out. You'll figure it out. I just appreciate you. Until next time, the right man in the wrong place can make all the difference in the world. Just don't get caught up in the political intrigues that might be waiting for you in the shadows.